Hello everyone and welcome back to This Is Real Life. I'm your host Sheri, and on today's DIY Wednesday video, we're gonna bake some bread. And we're not just gonna bake any old bread. We are going to revisit my bread machine from about 30 years ago. I have been seeing different people on the YouTubes baking bread from scratch, and it just, with the fall weather, I was like, ugh, I kind of want to bake some bread, but ain't nobody got time to knead and rest and knead and let it sit for 2 hours and let it proof. And what if it's a bad proof? And are you gonna get a bad bake? I don't know. I didn't want to go through that mess. And then I remembered I have a bread machine. Now, if all goes well, this video will be amazing and super fun. But if it doesn't, don't worry, I have a plan B. But just so you know, I still do have the cookbook that came with my bread machine. Now, I am not lying when I say this bread machine is damn near 30 years old. And to prove it, on the back of the recipe book, copyright date 1997. Now, when I first got this bread machine, I feel like I asked for it as a Christmas gift or a birthday gift or something like that. And when I first got it, I was making bread left and right. It was the easiest thing in the world. And then after a while, I was like, I'm kind of tired of baking bread. And then I just put the bread machine in a shelf in the garage, and there it sat. At my old house, it sat there forever. I moved it to this house, and it's sitting on a shelf in my garage in here. So we're gonna pull it out, and we're gonna see A, if it still works, and B, if baking bread in the bread machine is just as easy as I remember. So I do have a couple of bread machine recipe books, but I thought it would be fun to use a recipe from the actual book that came with the machine. And what's super funny is some of the recipes are marked as foolproof recipes, while others are not. So I don't know, are the ones that aren't marked as foolproof, make it your own risk, maybe it'll turn out, maybe it won't, I don't know. But I picked a foolproof recipe. I wanna make potato bread. For this bread machine, we have options of a 1 pound loaf, a 1.5 pound loaf, or a 2 pound loaf. Of course, we're gonna make the 2 pound loaf. I mean, seriously, go big or go home, right? And as I was perusing, right when you open it, it's like, congratulations, fresh, warm, homemade bread is just a few easy steps away with your new Oster, is that how you say it, or Oster? You know that brand. Deluxe. Oh yeah, I got the Deluxe bread machine and dough maker. Along the way, feel free to ask questions. I wonder if this toll-free number works. We might have to call it down the way if we run into any troubles. They give you basic ingredients that you need, but other recipes might call for other ingredients outside of the basic ones. Like for example, you can make cake in your bread machine. I dog-eared the mocha chiffon cake, and if all goes well, maybe we'll bake the potato bread and the mocha chiffon cake. But first, I think I need to go out to the garage and get the bread machine, and I'm sure I'm gonna have to clean it. Okay, there it is on a shelf, just like I told you. And everybody cross your fingers that this bread machine works. Because I'm telling you what, if it's almost 30 years old, I probably haven't used it in 28 years. I'm just saying. Here she is in all of her glory. She's got some cobwebs, lots of dirt and dust, so we need to clean her up, and hopefully she works. Okay, before I go through all the trouble of cleaning this, first of all, it was super heavy. It was very hard to get it off that shelf. I'm sure that inside, Sheri. So I guess when I made bread the last time, 20 some odd years ago, there's bread residue around the bottom. That's nice, Sheri. You're not a pig. You're not a pig at all. So we're gonna definitely have to clean that. But I wanted to see if it actually turned on. Oh my God, the cord has cobwebs on it. Oh my Lord, love a duck. Okay, let's see if it actually turns on. Because if not, we're in trouble. Just turn on. Oh, that's the sound of fresh baked bread. Oh, but wait, the light didn't come on. Oh no. Oh, okay. Let's see what happens if we hit start. Push that down. Let's see if it actually starts. You guys, it works. Hallelujah, we are in business. I told it to stop and it's not. So I need to clean this. I do need to run to the grocery store because I had most of all of the ingredients for the potato bread, but I need the instant mashed potatoes. So I'm gonna clean this, run to the store, get the remaining ingredients, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna bake some bread in our 30-year-old bread machine. It still works! I can't believe it, but I mean, the true test is it actually gonna bake the bread? We'll see. Okay, I am back from the grocery store and I have cleaned the bread machine. It looks brand new, if you ask me. I was even able to get out the 30-year-old petrified bread dough at the bottom of the bread baking container. Yay! Everything is fresh and clean and we are ready to bake our potato bread. I mean, we know this turns on, but does the heating element work? Are we actually gonna have bread? That's what we don't know yet. But we're gonna find out. Oh, and on my way to the grocery store, I was thinking, like, why is the potato bread recipe a foolproof recipe and let's say the sourdough recipe is not? From what I can glean, basically, if it's a foolproof recipe, it's like a crock pot situation. We just dump everything into the bread baking pan and then put it in the machine. If it's not a foolproof recipe, like the mocha chiffon cake, it's because we have to do other things before we dump into here. Dissolve the instant coffee, pre-mix the remaining ingredients. So, knowing that the potato bread recipe is foolproof, it's gonna be super easy. It's one of those set it and forget it. So, we're just supposed to remove the bread pan and attach the kneading blade. Put this in here like so. Easy. Now, all we have to do is place all of the ingredients in the bread pan in the order listed. So it calls for 1.5 cups of water, great, 2 tablespoons of butter, softened, okay, 4 cups of gold medal, better for bread flour, which I have pre-measured out here in this bowl. Alrighty, we need to put in our 1/2 cup mashed potato mix, 4 teaspoons of sugar and 2 teaspoons of salt. So I have 4 teaspoons of sugar here, 2 teaspoons of salt there. We're gonna dump that in. 1 3/4 teaspoon of either regular active dry yeast, bread machine yeast, or quick acting active dry yeast. They did have like a jar of the bread machine yeast, but I was like, I'm not gonna buy a whole jar of bread machine yeast for 1 3/4 teaspoons when I don't even know if this bread machine is gonna work. So I just bought the regular like instant fast rising yeast. So we need 1 and there's 3/4. Those are all of the ingredients. Now it says we are supposed to insert the bread pan, close the lid, and plug in. Okay, insert the bread pan, and there is a little thing on the front that says front. So we put that in, click, press down. Now it's locked and loaded. Close the lid and plug in. Okay, now what? It says select bread type. Oh, it also says right here, 1 is regular medium crust, 2 is a large medium crust, 3 is a large dark crust. Okay, so it's on 1. There's 2, which is what we want, and then press start. Okay. The time indicated says 2 hours and 50 minutes. Like I said, set it and forget it. All right, we'll come back in 2 hours and 50 minutes. I'm just gonna let this little thing do its thing, and hopefully, I mean, it's mixing. Oh yeah. Mixing, guys. That stuff we'd have to do by hand, and the bread machine is doing it for us. So let's just give a little kiss for good luck and come back in 2 hours and 50 minutes. So I was cleaning up my kitchen. I was gonna go put away Halloween, and then I started hearing it, like you can hear it. And I'm like, I don't know if that sounds good. We're down to 2 hours and 39 minutes, and it looks like it's kneading, but it also looks like it could be struggling.
Opie, I think I'm getting too old for this stuff.
So, everybody, keep your fingers crossed. You're doing okay, I know. It's been almost 30 years since you've had to even do anything, but you can do it. I think you can do it. Guys, the house actually smells like bread and it's done. It says end right there. Now, there are no further instructions. That's it. It doesn't say anything more. So let's open our... It doesn't look cooked. The sides look kind of cooked, but the top does not. Let's get it out and see. Oh, mighty Ouija. Okay. So I'm grabbing it by the handle. Oh my God. Come out. Come out. Jeez. Okay. Why does the top does not look brown. It looks white and raw. But you can see like the edges look brown. I don't know. Let's try to take it out. I have a knife here. I don't even know if it's gonna stick. I don't remember from 30 years ago, like what happened here. So maybe we can dump it on. Oh, it came right out. It slid right out onto the cooling rack. Ooh, okay, so see, it's nice and brown. I mean, if I was Paul Hollywood, I would say that's a good bake. But it doesn't look like it like rose all the way. And why is this so dang not brown? Is it not fully baked all the way? Should I have used 3 for dark? I don't know. But it's piping hot. Part of me is like, should I put it in the oven and get that brown? Any fans of British Baking Show? I mean, that sounds like it's supposed to. It smells good, but I'm nervous that it's raw. I was going for lighter brown crust, but maybe darker brown was what I should have done. Do I hack a little bit off and see if it's raw and then decide to put it in the oven? I mean, we shouldn't have to put it in the oven at all because it should be completely done. Maybe we cut it while it's warm and just see. Should we just see? I think we should just see. Okay, this is probably a super bad move, cutting it while it's super warm, but I gotta know, is it just this that just didn't get color on it? Let's cut off the bottom. I'm just gonna do a thin slice. I mean, it is still hot. Steam is escaping, but let's see. Ooh, ooh, that looks good. That looks real good. I'm not mad at that at all. Oh, delicious, fresh baked potato bread. Oh, it smells good too. It's piping hot. Should we put some butter on it and taste it? Okay, let's do it. Ooh. Now it is the butt end, so I am gonna get a lot of crust, but it is good, guys. It's so hot. Delicious. Oh my God. Nothing beats fresh baked bread. I will tell you that right now. We need to let it cool for sure, but now I'm feeling like, should we make a cake? See how that turns out? Let's do it. Okay, bread is cooling over there. I have washed out my bread pan and I have prepared all of the ingredients for the mocha chiffon cake. Over here, I have 1 1/3 cup of hot water where I have dissolved 1 tablespoon of instant coffee. Now in this bowl, I have 2/3 cup of oil, 4 large eggs, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And in this bowl, I have a teaspoon of cream of tartar, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 cups of sugar, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 2/3 cup unsweetened cocoa powder. So I'm just gonna dump into the big bowl and then we'll mix it together. But first I kind of wanna break up these eggs a little bit so it's a little bit easier to mix. Now this is not a foolproof recipe. You see how we're doing stuff off to the side? Egg, oil, and vanilla. And then let's put in our dry ingredients. I mean, all in all, this is pretty easy. And if this cake turns out like a cake, hello. And there's a glaze for the top, which I'm kind of excited about. So let's get this all mixed up. Now, I don't ever remember when I first got this bread machine if I ever baked a cake. I don't think I did. So this is gonna be a first. And I'm kind of hoping, you know, it was the first time using the bread machine in like 27, 25 years. Maybe it just needed like a kickstart, a little refresher, and maybe that's why the top of that bread is not exactly brown. But now that it's got that first one under its belt, maybe this cake will be beautiful. I don't know. I am hoping. So I'm gonna drizzle this in little by little. I don't wanna scramble my eggs. This is gonna look super liquidy because I still have a lot more pre-mix remaining ingredients in order. Okay, it looks super liquidy though. I'll trust the process, but look how much coffee I have left, and this is very liquidy. It all goes in. I don't know. I don't know about this one. It is liquid. Liquid. Okay. I mean, it's mixed, but it looks like soup. It does not look like cake batter to me. Okay, now that we have that all mixed together, it says that we are supposed to spray our pan with vegetable oil and then put the mixture in the pan. When I was at the store, I got this perfect release baking made with flour. So I thought I'd give it a try. Oh yeah, okay. It does look like flour, see it? Interesting. Now, we're supposed to pour this liquid mess into here. This is not gonna go well, I don't think. Okay, here we go. Oh, easier than I thought. Okay, shall we taste this just to see? I mean, it tastes good. We'll see how well it bakes. Front, where's front? Okay. Boom, you're in. And now we're supposed to press select and enter the number 10 on the display for quick bread / cake cycle. Now press start. 1 hour and 50 minutes? That's what's indicated there. So set it and forget it. See you in 1 hour and 50 minutes. Okay guys, it is the moment of truth. We're done baking our cake. I'm nervous. Everybody hold your breath. Oh, I mean, it looks like a cake in there. I don't know. Oh, golly, it's very hard to get out. Oh, there we go. Yeah, looks like a cake. It's gonna be a very weird shaped cake, or a loaf cake, if you will. Oh my gosh. Okay, you don't have to hold your breath anymore. It seems extra soft. I don't know, should we stick a thing in it to see if it comes out clean? There's nothing more I can do aside from toss it back in the oven. So I didn't hear it drop. Oh, there it went. Okay, dun 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 dun. It's a cake with a little bit of a hole in the middle. Oh my gosh, look at it. It's a cake, you guys. Oh my gosh, we have to wait for it to cool completely because there's a drizzle that we need to put on top. But for the most part, it's cake. Let's let it cool and then I'll put the drizzle on and then we'll have mocha chiffon cake that we literally set and forget. Guys, check out our cake. It looks really good. I did rush the cooling process a little bit. I stuck it in the freezer. It's still kind of warm, but I do have our glaze, which it's not the glaziest of glaze. Kind of not a drizzle at all. Do they call it a glaze? What do they call it? Oh, they call it icing. I guess I probably should have read that a little bit closer before I sliced it. But I just figured we'd go like this and it'd be cute because it's not really in the shape of a cake when it comes out of the little bread pan. So if you slice it, I think it looks a little nicer. And then you could just drizzle, drizzle, drizzle. Now, for this icing, you were supposed to dissolve some instant coffee. I chose to dissolve instant espresso to give it more of a little bit of a kick in hot water, and then you mix in melted butter and powdered sugar. And now I'm just gonna kind of spoon it on and then we'll take a bite. Honestly, for as liquidy as the batter was when I poured it in, the cake baked up beautifully. I actually think it baked up a little nicer than the bread, if I'm being honest. But again, maybe after 30 years, it needed to like cook something, and now it's got like its juices back. It's like, yes, I remember this. I used to be the star of the show. So maybe now that I've baked two things, it's just gonna kick it into high gear, and every other bread, cake, what have you I make in this thing is gonna turn out superb. I'm very anxious to try this mocha chiffon cake. I'm just gonna use my hands. I'm gonna take this piece off right here. Boom. And now let's have a bite. I'm gonna get some with the frosting. It's really nice and moist. Moist.
She hates that word. What word? Moist?
Ugh, seriously, stop!
Oh my goodness. Look at it. Look at it. It looks divine. For being able to cook it in a bread machine and walk away, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome indeed. And like the edge kind of has a little bit of a crust to it. Moist texture in the middle. Not a terrible crust, not like a bread crust, but a little bit crusty. Oh yeah, I could get behind this all day, every day. I mean, guys, I think the bread machine gets a bad rap. Look at this beautiful bounty. I mean, our bounty of delicious home-baked potato bread. Are you kidding me right now? And then for dessert, we have a full-on chocolate cake. And I remind you, I just dumped everything in here and turned it on and walked away. Quite literally, when the bread was mixing, kneading, proofing, baking, I put all of my Halloween away. I didn't step foot in this kitchen. When the cake was making, yeah, I sat on the couch. I didn't do anything. I didn't come in here. I just waited for it to turn off. And I've got beautiful cake and beautiful homemade bread. And I really didn't do anything at all. Kind of a win, if you ask me. I'm very sorry that I left this bread machine in my garage for damn near 30 years. I should have been using it more, and I think from this point forward, I am gonna use it more. I mean, just think, holidays, they're coming. Thanksgiving, Christmas, you want fresh baked bread? Just set it up in here, press go, and go amongst your other cooking. And then when you're done with all that other cooking, voila, you have bread. I don't know why everybody doesn't own a bread machine. Are they expensive? I don't know. Maybe we should check it out. Do they even make this one anymore? Because I'll tell you what, 30 years later, it's still going strong. Something about that I have to say. There is one on the Amazon. Now, the newer model does not look at all like this big bulky model, but guess what? On the eBay, someone is selling this exact one that I own for $84.99. The one that it's called Oster Express Bake Bread Maker is $99.89. The shape is completely different now. It's more like ovally, roundy kind of. Walmart has a Hamilton Beach one for $79. So yeah, I mean, they're like $100, but for fresh baked bread that you don't have to do anything for, carbs be damned. I'm gonna have fresh bread all of the time, and cake. And I was looking on my bread machine, there is a button says jams and jellies. You think I can make jam in this thing? Oh, jams right here, guys. You wanna know a little fun fact about me? My dream is to live at Avila Beach. Before I die, one day, I want to live at Avila Beach. I'll probably be retired at that point, but I'll still need to make some money. So I always thought of selling like homemade jams at like the farmers markets in Avila. And I was gonna call it That's My Jam Jam. And then I could play music and every flavor, like, you know, if it was strawberry jam, it would be like Strawberry Fields Forever, because that's the name of the song.
Yes, we are from Liverpool. We used to play those dark clubs in Hamburg. Remember that, Paul?
Of course I do. I booked them. I'm the leader of the Beatles.
I'm just saying, making some jam in it could get me closer to my goal. This is just all I'm saying. I might have to try out some jam next. So yeah, there you have it, and there it is. Damn near 30-year-old bread machine, still working like a champ. We got some real nice bread and some real tasty cake, and I'm excited. So I don't know, do you guys have a bread machine that you haven't used in 30 years? Are you kind of a hoarder like me, and you may also still have the recipe book that goes with the bread machine? Let me know in the comments below. And if you don't have a bread machine, after seeing this and what a bread machine can do for you, are you contemplating getting one? Let me know in the comments below. And with all that said, if you like this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. Be sure to ring that notification bell so that you are alerted to all of the DIY Wednesday videos I push out, which is every other Wednesday at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. Make sure you share this video with your family and friends. And as always, thanks for hanging out. I'm just gonna go eat this now.